Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 191181 here with the Shade Tree Survivalist. Just got a text message from Uncle Fester that made perfect sense to me. Yesterday morning I had made a video about some of the pitfalls of having a pillbox or bunker mentality, going out and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars, whatever the case may be, and building a bunker. And he brought up the fact that I had just wiped out a bunker. Just uploaded a video titled Mac Daddy Attacked, in which I had told the viewers about being attacked by some yellow jackets and stung on the side of the head while I was out here doing my weekly grass mowing while I had my Alice gear on, trying to get into shape, you know, trying to get the be able to haul that heavy damn stuff around. But once I got attacked by these damn yellow jackets, Mac Daddy ain't gonna put up with that crap. I had to find that damn nest and I had to wipe it out, because I have to cut this damn grass every week, and being stung every damn week is not my idea of a good damn time, I'm here to tell you. So I'm sitting out here by the hole. It's right here in the ground in front of me, and the thing about that is that's the entrance in and their entrance out. That's also their way they get air in and out of the their nest, which is in the ground. So without further ado, here we go. The subject of fortifying your home against an outside attack is for many a touchy subject. For the most part, the general population simply cannot afford it. I'm one of those. As a practical matter, whether you can afford it or not, here is a word to the wise. What one man can dream up and create, nature and or another man can destroy. With the proper tools, and most importantly time, any concrete or steel structure can be broken into, whether by explosive or a cutting torch or a plasma cutter. Folks with a little bit of understanding of how things are built and or work can fix or destroy them. If a man can overcome a battle tank with 4 inches of angled, face-hardened armor that can move around at about 30 or 40 miles per hour, what chance does an average man have of creating an impregnable fortress? Just food for thought. Regardless, if you decide to spend your hard-earned money to try and build a fortress, you should keep a few things in mind. Build in alternative exits and escape routes. Unseen, camouflaged escape routes. Tunnels are a good idea. And of course, one of my cats is out here this morning. Now I'm going to show you how the yellow jackets had their nest, the entrance to their nest. Okay, right here you can see that dark circle. That is the hole, the second hole that they cut once I closed in the original, where this depression right here is. That's where the original hole was, and I stomped that sucker flat once I found it, so they couldn't get back out after I had sprayed some flying insect killer into the hole. I heard a hell of a buzzing going on under the ground, so it didn't get down in there to them to kill them. So I stomped it shut so they couldn't get back out while I was trying to cut the grass. And this is the second hole they dug their way out. So they got back out. And once they went to sleep that night, I came out here with about a half a quart of gas and some spray. I sprayed the entrance because there was quite a few of them in the entrance of it. And then I poured the gas in and left the bottle sticking into the freaking hole, because a quart oil bottle, the spout will fit right in that hole just as pretty as you please, and it sealed it off. Okay, so if you only have one entrance in and one entrance out, and that entrance is also for your air supply, you are screwed. Okay, but even if you have an entrance and then a separate piping or whatever the case may be, conduit, to allow air in, you're still subject to the same thing that wiped these suckers out. Somebody can pour gasoline down in there, or something a lot worse than gasoline. Just something to think about. So you should have an alternative entrances and exits, camouflage, that you don't use on a regular basis, hidden from view, so you can get the hell out. I mean, a regular house, you have extra doors, you have windows you can knock out, and you can get in, get out. You're not stuck in one place. So, gives you alternatives. But damn bunkers are so damn expensive. You know, building another door in or something may cost a little bit more money. But let me tell you something: if you don't have a way out, you are in the same damn boat as these yellow jackets when you got someone who is determined, like me, decide to take you down. And I'm not saying I'm going to try to take anybody down. What I'm simply saying is there are a lot of determined people out there. And in a situation where it's without rule of law, say you got roving gangs that's left the inner city, they ran out of food and victims to rob, steal, and kill from, so they come out to the countryside and they happen to run across your bunker. And most of you are going to think, well, they're too damn stupid. Well, you also have to remember they have a new tactic that they're using, have in the last 10 or 15 years. They are sending their young men into the U.S. military, making sure they get into combat, and they're learning how they are learning these small unit tactics, all right, and on how to breach hardened targets. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways you can defend against this that will give you time to bug out or to overcome and defeat someone trying to break into your strong point. Defense in depth. You should study the Germans and the Russian tactics on defense in depth during World War II. Both, the Germans were a whole hell of a lot better at it in one way. They didn't have the massive manpower that the Russian army did, but they could sure put your ass in a hurt locker if you were to attack them. You may take one or two trench lines, but by the time you got to the third or fourth trench line, your momentum and your supplies were spent, as well as your damn men's lives, because they really would wear your butt out. A single heavy door and frame can give you the benefit of a warning and, most essential, time. As on a ship, every doorway or archway should have a heavy door and frame. The walls must be resistant to gunfire, as well as to axes and other cutting tools. This will give you time to gather your bob, your bug out bag, your load-bearing gear, your ammo and weapons, and get the hell out of Dodge. Scorched earth. I spoke with this in one of my Minuteman stand videos. Leave nothing that would give aid or comfort to your enemy as you evacuate to pre-planned rally points. Pre-planned, that means start now. Decide where you're going to go in case of an emergency or so forth. Kim and I both have a list in case, for whatever reason, we're separated when an incident happens and we have to evacuate. We already have these a list of places to rally at in case we cannot communicate with a phone or radio, whatever the case may be. You should do that also. As you evacuate to pre-planned rally points or fallback positions, burn your home or your bunker or whatever the case may be, so that you don't leave the sons of bitches who took it anything. And maybe you'll take a few of them with you. No mercy, for they will have none on you. Site selection. Wherever you decide to build your home or fortress or shelter, do yourself a favor and have camouflaged escape routes, preferably more than one, if at all possible. Another thing, do not locate your home in a damn bowl, okay? When Kimmo had this house put in here years ago, they put it in the flattest spot they could get it in. And for a defensive situation, it's the worst there is, because you got high ground on both sides of the house. In the summer, it wouldn't be so helpful to the enemy on account of all the vegetation, but in the winter time, it's wide open. They can see every damn move you make outside the house. That's just all there is to it. And they can plunge fire right straight down onto you. If you were to dig foxholes, it would do you little good, because either one side or the other could shoot the shit out of you inside your darn hole, because it's so much higher up than you are. Pre-plan rally points. If you and your family or group have to split up essential but large and heavy gear. Don't try to carry everything yourself. Humping critical gear and supplies. Every member needs fire starting capability, medical kit, a high quality knife, a firearm, ammunition, as well as shelter. Break up mess kits, camp stoves, large water filtration systems, tools, ammo, whatever the case may be. All large multi-piece tools or gear should be broken down into components and dispersed throughout the group. So if you're bugging out and some of your people are killed or captured and you don't have time to grab their gear, if you're running for your freaking life, if you lose everything, you've shot yourself in the foot. But a lot of the bigger stuff, like one of those huge tents, whatever the case may be, if you break it up amongst a group, then you haven't lost everything, and you can use that to continue and to survive and to be more comfortable. Better to have part of the gear and or supplies and none of it if a member is lost, killed, or captured, as I just stated. If unsure of an individual or group's fate and there is the possibility of pursuit, use alternate rally points and cover your trail as much as possible. Also remember this: set out outposts in a 360-degree circle beyond the limit of noise and light 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Dig foxholes and build fortifications to fight from and for protection against small arms and artillery, depending on the situation. 4 feet overhead cover reinforced with logs is a minimum. You see, that's something there. If you have to abandon your bunker or your home, you don't want to be called out on the top of the ground. Okay, if you're attacked by a superior force, it will take 2, 3, or 4 times more of them to attack a well-fortified position. But at the same time, as you move, you can dig another foxhole. Okay, the foxhole can also serve another purpose. When you go to leave, you can take all your garbage, you can bury it, throw leaves across everything, sort of camouflage where you were at, and get the hell out of Dodge. But basically, if you build a bunker, you fortify your home, you got to have multiple ways in and multiple ways out, and if at all possible, you need to have ways in and out of your home, your bunker, your fighting position that are unseen by the enemy. If you're down in a valley like this house where we live, you are screwed, because they're looking right down on top of you. Okay. That was one of the Southern troops' advantages during the Battle of Chickamauga toward the end of the Civil War, before Sherman made it down to Atlanta and burnt Atlanta. We had this big watchtower, and our troops were on top of that sucker, and they could see them well before they got anywhere near. And that was a tactically it was a loss, I suppose you'd say, for the Southern side, but it was a strategic win because it decimated the Union forces, and they held them off that much longer. It was a very tough battle, and that's maybe you may have to leave the field of battle to the enemy, but if you wipe out a significant amount of his hardware, personnel, and ammunition, you've just put a massive strain on his logistics. Okay, especially in a situation without rule of law. There's no medical care coming for the gangbangers, and they're bleeding all over the place, and that is demoralizing to the rest of their force. So, if you build a bunker, you build a fighting position, you harden your home, you need to make sure you have as many ways in and out as possible, and if at all possible, some of them unseen. If you're going to go through the expense of building a steel bunker, concrete bunker and putting it into the ground, how about a couple of escape routes? A couple of tunnels to get you the hell out of there that you can camouflage. All right. One more thing I'd forgot about while I was out shooting the video. Jeez, my damn throat this morning. I just got out of bed here and I've been having to clear my throat since I got up. But one more thing I thought of about the bunker situation. You don't even have to, maybe you don't have to have so many alternate entrances as exits. Maybe you have a beautiful, big, massive door. All right. That is sort of camouflaged, so it draws their attention to that door. But it is like the first door that the Navy SEALs, SEAL Team 6, tried to breach at Bin Laden's compound. It's a fake door. All right, they blow it and there's a damn wall there, a concrete wall. Okay, so you make them waste their time. Gives you time warning. Okay. Makes them waste their supplies. Maybe they don't have any more explosives if they are trying to use explosives, or maybe they don't have another cutting torch, whatever the case may be. Maybe you get them working on that door that's fake and you can shoot the hell out of them. You can go out, around, outflank them and attack them in that and roll them up like a freaking carpet. That is another thing you need to think about. So not only have true, real alternative exits, camouflaged exits, tunnels, but maybe the main door that they're working on trying to breach is fake, and there's a concrete wall or dirt behind it. There's nothing there. I mean, it's got to be solid. It's got to be substantial. You can't push on it and it move. It's got to be there. But you draw their attention to that door, sort of camouflage it, but make it obvious. All right. Wear a path in. You know, you got to make it. You can't let it grow up around it and no trail leading to it. But the true main door, main entrance, or alternative entrance, if you got a path wore straight into it, and that'll draw them like flies to a turd. All right. So you got to set it up so either the terrain funnels them to the fake door, a trail that you blaze, wear out, keep worn down, that draws their attention to that alternative fake door. And if at all possible, you have fighting positions around it, so once they've got their attention on that door, we're gonna breach this door, oh yeah. They don't set out security, they focus on that door, and then you can wear them out. Okay, that'd be another alternative. And that would be something you really should consider, because it wasn't just one door that Bin Laden had in his compound. He had multiple fake doors. They breached several doors, and there was a freaking wall, a solid wall on the other side. And I'm not talking about no dang sheetrock or plywood like we got here in the States. I'm talking about concrete or stone, whatever the hell they used to build them with over there. So once they breached that outer door, we're screwed. That was a great idea. It didn't do him any good because he didn't have a plan. And if he did have a plan, it fell through on him because he didn't have any men to back it up. So, food for thought, folks. That's what all my videos are about. This is not my way of, except my M14, 1911, and 590 videos. Those are absolute, that's my opinion, and I'm not changing it. Or at least not now. But every other video I make is food for thought. This is not saying this is the only way to do it. This is not saying this is the way to do it. This is simply saying this is something you should consider. Okay? You consider it. You harden your positions. Carry your gear the way I do. I mean, it just food for thought. Maybe it'll jog something else in your mind that will be a better idea. It's basically just passing on ideas to you, the viewer, and I hope that I can receive some new ideas from you guys, because I do. I mean, like the new Going Back to Alice Part 2 video, I gave full credit to the viewers and the other man's channel on the ideas on the belt with the padding and so forth. you know, because they are due that credit. And the way I figured, if each of us in the American Patriot Movement, Minuteman Movement, Militia Movement, Survivalist Movement, Prepper Movement, whatever the case may be, if each of us come up with one decent, great idea, we can pass that on to everybody else. It makes everybody else that much better off, much more prepared. Okay? But if you think you're going to just stick a box in the ground, have one door to it, you're asking to be overrun. You're asking to have your butt gassed out or burn out like I did the Yellow Jackets. Okay. Pre-plan your rally points. Okay. And if you have to move, and it's not, I shouldn't say if, when you have to move. All right. If there is a superior force who are smart enough to know how to breach a hardened target after you will have to move eventually. You have to remain flexible. You cannot be stuck on just plan A. You got to have a B, a C, a D. And remember this, every well-laid plan turns to crap at first contact with the enemy. Okay? You're not a genius. All right? And even if you are, geniuses still make serious freaking mistakes and do stupid crap. MacArthur was one of them. And a lot of people will say he was not a genius. Well, if nothing else, if everything else he did in his entire career was an absolute flop, the Incheon landing on the west coast of Korea, behind the North Korean lines, when everybody else, the Navy said it, the Marines said it, everybody said that's crazy. The tide was so enormous. It went from being enough for a cargo ship to get into the port to mud flats by the end of the high tide. That's just the way it was. Nobody said it could be done. MacArthur said it could be done. He was a man on the ground. He was a man in charge, and he did it. After that, I think he was screwed up big time once he got into North Korea. But the Incheon landing was a flash of genius. All right? But then he made his mistake, and the Chinese got involved when he said they would never get involved, and drove him back out of North Korea, and nearly got our Marines killed. But of course, Marines are all riflemen, and they wore their butts out. Thank you, General O.P. Smith, Oliver Prince Smith. Now he was a freaking genius. But anywho, Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalists. I hope you get something from this. One little tidbit that might help you survive in a situation that is beyond your control. If that one little thing I can say or pass along that I pick up from somewhere else helps you, then I feel like I've done what I set out to do. I don't give a damn about being popular, making money off of this. I'm not making t-shirts. I'm not giving crap away. I don't care about all that. I'm simply here trying to learn from others on YouTube and other sources, and I'm trying to pass what I learn on. It's still a learning progress. It's still a steep slope I'm climbing, but I'm getting there. Anywho, Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survival sign off. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day.